a new day begins. Hello everyone, Artemir the Violet Wizard here, and welcome to the next session of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Last time we got started on our journey by being whisked away to this strange new land after following the Skull Kid. And after quite a few different misadventures around town, we managed to get back our ocarina, thus giving us the means of returning to the very first day of this 3-day cycle. So, what we are going to do with this session, and throughout this game, we have quite a few interesting choices that we can make when going through this adventure. Like, if you want to, you could just breeze through the main story in only a couple hours. But this is going to be a 100% playthrough. We are going to achieve everything we can possibly do in this strange new land. And we are going to be very, very thorough with it. So normally what I do when I am going through this game just casually, I try to get through the different events in this game in as efficient of a way as I can, just demonstrating a lot of Dandori by just getting as many different tasks as I can get done in a single 3-day cycle, which obviously can be a pretty strenuous at times, but it's kind of the fun thing with this game, having to go along with the limitations that it sets you with the timer. But yeah, I think that we are probably going to keep things a little more casual in this session here. Except today, we could proceed onward with the story, as we were given directions on where to go. However, I feel it would be a good thing if we could just see what there is to do around Clocktown for the time being. So we've got a brief glimpse of this area the first time we were around here, though we didn't quite were able to do everything we possibly could in this area while we were simply a Deku scrub. So you can see here this dog that used to attack us when we were the Deku scrub. It's no longer aggressive to us. Now that we're a Hylian, it's just kind of chill with us. It's a good boy after all. So when going around Clocktown, I highly recommend talking to as many NPCs as you can. So, the thing with the NPCs in this adventure is that they all have set schedules that they go through all throughout the 3 days that we're here in this land. And they change up their schedules quite a bit as the days proceed onward, usually being very chill on the first day, but on the final day, oh man, they're usually doing something completely different. So I want to show if we head to the exit, now that we have managed to return to our human form. Stop right there! Have you some errand in the swamp? It's dangerous outside the town wall, so I cannot allow a child like you to... A sword! My apologies, sir. It was wrong of me to treat you like a child. The southern swamp at Woodfall lies in this direction. Be careful. So now we've returned to our human form and are armed with our Kokiri sword. We are able to freely leave the town as we please. However, there's quite a few things we can now do in this town that I would like for us to do this time. So we head over back to the laundry pool. As I said before, this is where we can find the fragment of the Great Fairy during the day. We want to come over here in order to grab her, as we're going to want to return her back to where we need to. Yeah, as you no doubt couldn't tell, every time that you return to the first day, all of your progress that you have made, aside from acquiring key items like the ocarina, is reset. So a lot of characters that have certain things that happen to them, like the Great Fairy being broken apart and you having to return her piece to her, you'll have to redo that every time you go back to the first day. So we hit this bell here by the laundry pool, causes that kid over there to come out of the house. And he's like, get back out here. pretty unusual. Well, at least we know that kid is here, and that we can call him out with a bell. But there isn't really anything we can do about that for the time being. So for now, how about we head back to North Clocktown and return the piece of the Great Fairy back to the fountain. Also want to trigger this guy to appear again. So yep, this guy will be back at his shop over here by this flower. So in order to get him to move and have access to the flower again, you are going to need to go and grab the Moon's Tear again. Luckily, we don't need to worry about that, because we can go up onto this ledge now that we have been returned to a Hylian, which is very good for us. And if we head over this way, we saw this owl statue before. Ye who hold the sacred sword, leave proof of our encounter. So after interacting with this statue, you want to strike it with your sword. Doing that will cause its wings to unfurl, and if we examine you again, you can save your progress and quit here. When you reselect your file, my face will appear by your file name. This indicates the next time you reopen your file, you resume playing at this very place and time with your current status. Warning, if you reopen this owl file, then reset without saving at an owl statue, you'll lose the progress you saved here. Next time you open the file, you'll restart at day 1 with the status you had when you last saved using the Song of Time. So these statues provide a quick save feature in the original N64 version of this game. It's giving you a way to quickly save your progress at a certain point without having to worry about playing the Song of Time and going to the very start of a 3-day cycle. We're not going to worry about this function in this adventure. Also, this feature was changed quite a bit in the Nintendo 3DS version of the game, where you can just save your game at these statues without having to worry about it being a quick save. It's quite a nice quality of life feature. The 3DS version in general has a lot of quality of life improvements over the original, though there are a lot of changes in that version that some hardcore fans of the original game don't exactly gel with. I haven't personally played the 3DS version, so I don't really have an opinion on that. But I will bring up a couple of the version differences every now and then, because there are quite a few notable ones. But anyway, we managed to restore the Great Fairy once more. Oh, Tattle, and you, kind young one, thank you for returning my broken and shattered body to normal. I am the Great Fairy of Magic. For now, this is all I can offer you. Allow me to ease your weariness as my token of gratitude. So we already visited her on our first trip to Clocktown, and she bestowed us the magic power to shoot bubbles as a Deku. Oh, kind young one, scattered throughout the 4 temples of this land are broken stray fairies like me. Please find a way to save them and return them to their fountains. Surely they'll add to your strength. Allow me to grant you something good, so that the stray fairies will not fear you. You got the Great Fairy Mask! Wear with C. Stray fairies will fly to you when you wear it. You'll know you're close to a fairy who's lost in a temple if the mask hair begins to shimmer. Come see me whenever your quest has made you weary. So yep, you can return to the Great Fairy Fountain whenever you're low on vitality in order to heal up. So let's go into our new prize we got from the Great Fairy. So this is the Great Fairy Mask. It is one of many masks we'll be collecting in our adventure. Yeah, the gimmick of Majora's Mask, if you hadn't already figured it out, is going to be masks. We are able to collect them all across the adventure and be able to use their different abilities in order to help us out in our adventure. So for the first mask we get here, the Great Fairy Mask, there's really not much we can do with it for the time being. But it will be very crucial to us when we're exploring the various dungeons that we'll be encountering all throughout this land. Anyway, so we want to come back here to the playground, because if we can jump over here, get to the top of the slide, then want to hop across here to get up to this tree, enabling us to get this piece of heart that's been taunting us for so long. We also have both Jim and Tingle here that you can interact with if you want to, but there's not any real reason of being here at the moment. For the time being, how about we check out a few other places around town? So over here we got the mayor's residence. This should definitely be an area we can find some people to... Actually, before we go in here, I do want to do one other thing. I want to go over here where this kid is. Remember, he was blocking access to the bomber's secret hideout. If you want to pass through here, you have to say the secret code. So as I said before, the secret code is generated every time you start a new file. So, even though we are on a new cycle of the 3-day schedule, the code should be the same as last time. That's right! If you know the code, you remember, right? Okay, here you go. So now we can freely pass in here. There's a lot of cool stuff at that telescope guy's place. Oh yeah, and the Bomber's Secret Society and Justice Forever. So that is definitely very good for us to get to see here. So yep, we are freely able to access this place at any time now. There is no need to play that one game with Jim where you have to track down all the kids around town. As long as you remember the secret code, you are good. It's time for us to get into some battle here. What? You don't even know about the Skulltula? It's protected by a hard shell, but its stomach is soft. So for enemies, of course, you need to be very careful with them. Take a hit and you will obviously take damage. But if you're able to strike them down, they'll usually drop something good. But with that Skulltula, we weren't able to get anything. So back over here, we of course have a balloon to deal with. So we can switch out the fairy mask for the Deku mask. And this allows us to transform back into our Deku form at any time. So yeah, the masks are definitely a really awesome mechanic. Being able to just completely change your form into that of another race really opens up a lot of opportunities for us to do stuff in this adventure. We're going to be making a lot of use out of that. Oh, we got this scarecrow here we saw before. Hey, baby! Silent scarecrow wandering in search of pleasant music. So you can talk to this guy if you want to warp to 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. But I'm not going to do the dance. By the way, I know of a mysterious song that allows you to manipulate the flow of time. So this is something we heard about the first time we met this scarecrow, but we couldn't do anything about it as we didn't have our ocarina. Oh yeah, now listen up! If you play that strange song backward, you can slow the flow of time. And if you play each note twice in a row, you can move a half day forward through time. How's that? Pretty interesting, isn't it? But I'm sure like any song written by you better, baby. If you like, you can play one for me. So how about we give his advice a chance here? So normally you can play the Song of Time in order to reset the current schedule back to the dawn of the first day. But if you were to play the song in reverse, you play the inverted Song of Time. With this, we are able to slow the flow of time to 1/3 of the normal rate, thus giving us much more time in order to get things done in a current session. So yeah, we will be making a lot of use out of this particular ability. It is so good for being able to... for just being able to cram in as much stuff as you can in a single rotation of the 3-day schedule. It is amazing. Hello there, we have already talked with you before. So I'm coming back here to access the telescope, because there is something that I want to do with this. So I want to peek on the Skull Kid in order to cause another moon tier to drop, as this will be important for something we'll be getting in a little bit. Also, I just noticed. So look at there, we got the... There's the Deku Scrub Merchant that we saw before. What's he doing around here? He is going down a hole. Huh, very interesting. So it seems that the Deku Merchant has a secret hidey hole where he is stashing some things. I want to be good to check in on that. But yeah, we're going to grab another Moon's Tears. That's going to be important to us. Alright, so we saw the business scrub go into that hole right there. We want to remember that for later. But for now, we got some other business to attend to. So yeah, the main reason I wanted to go back here is you do want to go into the bomber's hideout at least once after you have managed to reset back to the dawn of the first day once, as you're able to get something really nice for doing so. That is going to be instrumental if you're looking to try and get everything you possibly can done in this adventure. It is just such a really good thing that you want to grab. So making our way out of the poo water here, let's head back to the exit. Hello, Jacob. Welcome to the stream. Now we're back out here. Hey, Jim. Hey, guy. You haven't passed my test, so how do you know my secret code? Nobody but bombers know that code, so why do you know it? Listen, guy. You're pretty good. You managed to figure out a code that only we know. Now that's something. I like you. What's your name, guy? Hayden, huh? Alright. That Skull Kid broke our rules and is doing all kinds of stuff. I'm making Hayden a new member of the Bombers instead. This is the Bomber's Notebook. It contains the words we live by. Read it over. You got the Bomber's Notebook. Allows you to keep track of people's schedules. Press start to access the quest status screen, then highlight the notebook and press A to read it. 1. Find troubled people and add their names and pictures. Only 20 people will fit in your book. 2. Promise to help them. Mark promises with promise stickers. Never be late with fulfilling your promises. 3. Whenever you solve someone's problem, it makes you happy, so a happy sticker will be added to your book. 4. No removing stickers. Use promise stickers to keep track of people until everyone is happy. Don't forget the rules. Tattle, you tell that Skull Kid he's out of here. He's been acting like a real jerk lately. The Bomber's Secret Society of Justice was added to your notebook. You were taught the secret code. This was added to your notebook. Kind of an interesting little lore drop that the Skull Kid was a former member of the Bombers. And that's why they no longer gel with having non-humans in their organization. But yeah, for doing that, we got ourselves a very nice key item. We go into our quest status screen, we can highlight the Bomber Notebook. So this thing is really good for keeping track of things that you can do around Clocktown and the surrounding areas. Every time you talk to an important NPC who has a quest for you, it'll register them and their schedule in this notebook, which you can check in order to be able to get the information you need that will be integral for completing their quests. So yeah, pretty darn useful to us in this adventure. And now that we have this in hand, let's properly visit the mayor's residence. You can talk to this cute lady here.
welcome. Do you have some business? The room on the left is the mayor's room. Sounds like they're having some kind of meeting, I think. The room on your right is the drawing room, and it's also Madame Aroma's office. Well, how about we pop in and see what exactly is going on? Quite the crowd in here. Most of the townsfolk already have taken shelter without waiting for the mayor's orders. The only ones left are public servants and committee members. Mr. Mayor and Carnival committee members, please order those who remain to evacuate. Well, you cowards! Do you actually believe the moon will fall? The confused townsfolk simply cause a panic by believing this ridiculous, groundless theory. The soldiers could prevent the panic, but outside the town walls is where the danger is. You want answers? The answers on the carnival should not be cancelled. Isn't that right, Mr. Mayor? Well, are you serious, Muto? It seems that giant chunk of rock above us hasn't caught your eye. At this time every year, we're overrun by tourists. So why is the town empty? Clearly it's your job to ensure the carnival's operation, but that's if people are here for it. Don't drag the merchants and soldiers into this. If the soldiers wish to run, then run, Viskin. We councilmen will stick to tradition. This carnival will be a success. I've never heard of a defense unit abandoning its town. Madame Aroma would surely say the same thing. Wouldn't she, Mayor Dotor? Let's not bring my wife into this. Mayor Dotor was added to your notebook. So yeah, pretty consistent with what we have seen around here. Just adults squabbling on what to do in the face of impending destruction. Perhaps we'll figure out a way to be able to ease his worries, but that's not going to be for a while. Oh, we got a Zora here. Are the fins damp lately? That's the greeting used among us Zoras. Oh, forgive me. I am Toto, manager of the band The Indiegogo's. I'm out of business cards, so a Zora greeting will have to do. The Indiegogo's, the popular group that we Zora are so proud of. They put out a lot of songs. One of their hits is Ballad of the Windfish. You know that song, don't you? Huh? Don't? Really? Even one that famous? You'd be able to hear it if the show wasn't cancelled. It's such a shame. Toto, the band manager, was added to your notebook. Pretty funny that this guy brings up Ballad of the Windfish, considering I previously Let's Played The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, back when I was doing streams on Twitch. Luckily I have the VODs uploaded to this channel that you can see. Oh dear, are you on a field trip? Were you the expert person finder I hired? Yes, I say. You have the face of a pro. The characteristics of the person I want you to find. Yes, I know them. The person I want you to locate is my son, Cafe. You know him, don't you? You don't? Really? He disappeared about a month ago. It's terrible. I'm so very worried. I can't get food down my throat and I've lost 5 pounds. Gee, I didn't notice. You haven't anything, though? Oh, dear. Well, could you look for him? I think we can handle that. Oh, my, of course. You're an expert. Well, I'm counting on you. You've been given the Cafe's mask and recruited to locate a missing person. Wear this to inquire about the missing Cafe. Madame Aroma, the mayor's wife, was added to your notebook. You took the work of a pro. This was added to your notebook. So this mask is pretty interesting. So with this mask on, we're able to inquire information from various NPCs as to the whereabouts of Madame Aroma's missing son. The fins damped lately. Canceling the show isn't something I want to do at all. It's the first performance of the carnival for the Indiegogo's in a while, so I'm sorry for the fans. But with the diva the way she is right now, a show would be... lately only bad things have been happening at Zora Hall. Oh my, you're the one I asked to search for Cafe. So, did you find anything? What's this? You got nothing? Oh, please keep trying. So, we are able to use this mask in order to progress a few quests around town.
However, for the time being, we're not going to be able to do everything that we possibly can involving this mask. So for the time being, we're just not going to focus on that. But if we head into this room, I believe there's something around here that we could see. We head back into this section by the curtain. Cafe's diary. The wedding ceremony is soon. It might be early, but I finished my wedding mask. I wonder if Anju has made hers. She tends to do things at the last minute, so probably not. There's a gathering of the fellows at the milk bar tonight. I plan to show off my wedding mask and talk about my sweetheart as best I can. So we get a little bit of context as to what Cafe was going through before he went missing. So he was engaged, finished a ceremonial wedding mask to go along with the ceremony, and he clearly does love his fiancée a lot. So perhaps we'll get to figure out some more information about him in due time. But for now, I'm not going to worry too much about the Cafe questline, as we're not going to be able to do everything we can with it for the time being. So we head over this way. Patron guidelines for the milk bar latte. We offer our customers limited run milk. Thus, we're a members-only establishment. Those who do not have proof of membership will be refused service. So this area is the milk bar. Gonna talk to some of the fellows around here. The bar opens at night, sir, and it's members only. We refuse people who don't have proof of membership. Well now, I'm getting things ready, so as long as you don't get in the way of my cleaning, you can stay. This fellow's quite similar in appearance to Talon, an NPC we met back in Ocarina of Time. Quite interesting. What are you staring at? Sounds like your show's been cancelled. You don't really need to be here anymore. I came to drink! I'm a customer! Well then, customer, the bar opens at 10 o'clock at night. Please wait till then. And besides that, this bar's for members only. Those without proof of membership will be refused entry. Well, then I don't need milk. I just want to sit and think for a while. Just give me a place to do that. Fine, be my guest. Gorman, the leader of the traveling troupe, was added to your notebook. It's another familiar face, although not exactly the same name. But this guy definitely resembles Ingo, an NPC we met back in Ocarina. We're gonna see a lot of that in this game. A lot of characters here reuse a lot of models from Ocarina of Time, but they're not necessarily the same characters. And to briefly touch on a few things we can do around here in the entertainment district, quite a few buildings here offer mini-games, though we're not going to be able to do everything in them at the moment. So we're not going to focus on the archery shop or the honey and darling shop for the time being. We could technically do the treasure chest shop at the moment, but one of the prizes you get there is one we're not going to be able to get at the moment, so we're not going to worry about that. As we head in here, we got ourselves the Stockpot Inn. Welcome to the Stockpot Inn. Are you staying the night? Yep. You're staying the night. I'm terribly sorry there are no vacancies today. We've been booked solid with reservations. It's always this way before the carnival. I'm sorry. I recommend making a reservation next time you wish to stay here. Please pay the Stockpot Inn a visit in the future. Anju the innkeeper was added to your notebook. So back in Ocarina, this lady, or at least a lady very similar to her, was known as the Cuckoo Lady, and requested that we help her retrieve her missing cuckoos. But seems like her version in this world has a job working at an inn. We got a toilet. Very nice. Step around here at the Stockpot Inn. There's quite a few different things we can take care of. It's got this elderly lady here. Oh, Tortoise, did you finish helping Father? Then let Mother read you a story. Now, which story would you like to hear? So we're able to hear various stories by talking to this old lady. So we're not going to do that for the time being. Anju's grandmother was added to your notebook. We're not going to do that at the moment, but trust me when I say that will be important for later. So we can go behind the counter and talk to Anju if we want, but I don't really see a reason to. Are you staying the night? I wonder, by chance asked you the same thing earlier? My mother's always telling me to remember our customers' faces, but I tend to forget them. So we can go over here into the kitchen. There's not much we can do over here, though, so we're just going to leave that for the time being. But how about we head up the steps and see what we can find around here? It says, employees only, no admittance. To go over here, sneaking into other people's rooms? You're the worst. So we're not able to access that room. If we head over here, got some familiar music. Is our buddy Guru Guru? Do-do-do, do-do-do. Don't speak to her right now. She hasn't finished her new dance for the town's carnival, even though the song is finished. Guru Guru, the traveling musician, was added to your notebook. So we'll want to remember him for a bit later. But we talked to this lady we saw before. Judo's very good at it. Maybe we should add some spins. The Rosa sisters, twin dancers, were added to your notebook. So we're definitely seeing a lot of NPCs we can help out around here. Though most of them we're not going to be able to do anything about for the time being. And just gave myself a concussion on those crates over there. Fantastic. You can see the other sister out here. Well, that won't work. No, that's too basic. And if we head out this door, this takes us to the exit of this area. We can hit the bell, but there's really no reason for us to do that, so I'm just going to leave that for now. I'm going to talk to some more residents around here before we get started on some of the nighttime stuff. My, funny things are happening in town, aren't they? Funny. You're telling me, like the rumors about the swamp to the south? Did you hear about the kidnapping? Oh my, the kidnapping? Yup, but then the kid woke up. Get it? Kidnapping? Whew, I got a million of them. Pat, that is quite a good joke. Alright, now we're taking care of that. What else could we see around town at the moment? I guess we gotta talk to this guy, but I want to wait until I have some more rupees before we do that. We can head into West Clock Town and try and check out the shops around here. Curiosity Shop, open at 10 p.m. So we're not going to be able to do anything about that. But if we head into here, we can find the trading post. Hi. Welcome! What are you looking for? So I believe this guy has the same model as the owner of the fishing hole back in Ocarina. And yeah, this is a shop where you can buy a variety of items here. You can buy Deku sticks if we want. Also get Deku nuts. And we can also get refills on arrows, but we do not have a bow yet, so that's not going to be useful to us. So we can buy a replacement shield if we ever lose ours, which, depending on how things go, we might. And we can also buy a red potion, which can restore vitality, or a green potion to restore magic. And then there's also a fairy. Definitely very useful, as a fairy will be able to heal you if you take fatal damage from an enemy. Very useful in life or death situations. Though at the moment, we don't have anything to carry those items in. And it's going to be quite a while before we're able to. Smash that, get another rupee. That's good. Alright, we just got a bit more time before night starts, so what else are we able to do around here? We head into this place, we can find the bomb shop. See, we were in here briefly before, but didn't really get to do much. You need a bomb bag to carry these items. This bag for carrying bombs is made from a certain monster's stomach. So we're gonna have to buy the bomb bag here if we want to actually be able to use bombs. Or we could talk to the shopkeeper here.
We're expecting to get a larger bomb bag back in stock pretty soon. But now that I think about it, it's already late. So we got a good hint about a better bomb bag that we can get. So we might want to think about waiting before purchasing the bomb bag so that we can get the better one. Alright, so we head over this way. Oh yeah, this area is quite nice to do. This is the Swordsman's School. This training center is friendly, polite, 24-hour one-on-one training that will noticeably improve your sword skills. From now until the end of the carnival, join at a special discount. So, will you try it? So we can take the novice course for 1 rupee. Let's try that. The novice course. Now then, before you draw your sword, I should teach you the basics of unarmed combat. I'll start with sideways jumps. After pressing Z to lock onto that log with Z targeting, press A while pushing left or right. Try it yourself. So this will teach you the various sword techniques for being able to do combat. Next, the roll attack. After pressing Z to Z target, press A while pushing forward to roll. Begin! It's quite useful if you haven't gotten the hang of the combat in this game yet. Next, the backflip. Lock on and Z target the log with Z, then press A while pushing down to jump. That's a good maneuver. Alright, now think of that log as an enemy and practice your sword skills. First is the horizontal cut. Simply press B. Now then, begin! Just press B for a horizontal cut. Do not Z target. Alright. So there's our cut. Next, the vertical cut. Press B after Z targeting with Z. Now, begin! So we do that for the vertical cut. Next is the thrust. After pressing Z to Z target, push forward and press B. So you can do a thrust attack. And finally, the jump attack. Press A after drawing your sword and Z targeting with Z. Begin! Well done! Do not forget what I've taught you thus far, and do not neglect your daily practice. Ah yes, you can press R to defend yourself with your shield. Did you know that? Yes, I did. So that's pretty good bit of tutorial for what you're able to do in terms of combat. So now let's see if we can really put this into practice. Let's take on the Expert Course. The Expert Course, a practice session. Cut down to 10 logs using the highly difficult techniques. Score perfect 30 points, you should be taught all the secrets. Have you prepared? So for this mini-game here, I recommend trying to... Alright, I totally messed that up. So what you want to do for this mini-game, before I completely ruined it, is you want to try and do jump attacks on the logs in order to score the most points. I kind of messed up here, so we're not going to be able to fully clear this our first run. But don't worry, we can still just get through this attempt and see if we get a prize for it. Your training is insufficient. You must jump more. Start over from the beginning. Fine, we shall. Okay, I messed up. Can I just leave and come back and that will just reset this? Yeah, I kind of made an oopsie there. Let's fix this. Want to try? Expert Course, please. Yeah, sometimes I can get a little ahead of myself with my button presses, and it doesn't really help. So yeah, what you want to do here, do jump attacks, and you will acquire the best score. If you can do this, then we will get a good prize. So just bear that in mind here. So remember, Z target, and then jump attack. Alright, one more round will do it. Hello, Master Starman! Welcome to the stream! Impressive! I must give you something. Here. So by doing that, we get ourselves a piece of heart. You've assembled a new heart container. Your maximum life energy has increased. Unbelievable!
cherish it well. So that's everything we can do here with the Sword Master. Very, very good, getting us some battle practice. And if we head over this way, this should be the post office. This week's schedule: morning, collection; afternoon, delivery; evening, practice. The week's motto: don't slack off. The heavens and the wife are watching. Mayor Dotor. So we can definitely tell that the postman here definitely takes things very seriously. So yep, this is where the postman will take up his residence in between his shifts. 4, 5, 6... Wah! You startle me! Do not disrupt my training! In my mind, I'm running for exactly 10 seconds without looking at a clock. I was in the middle of mental training. You may make fun of me, but this is quite difficult. Will you try? Press A to start. Count 10 seconds, and the precise moment you think you've hit 10 on the dot, press A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your time was 1082. See, I told you it's difficult. You look like you want to try again. So this is something we will definitely want to try. Alright, this time it'll actually cost us rupees to do this. So there is an easy way to be able to do this mini game, but I've managed to get it perfect before. So let's see if we can do this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your time was 10:13. Alright, it's a little off. Alright, I do want to see if we can get this done here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The time was 10 exactly! Third time's the charm! Huh? 10 seconds? That's amazing! You have reflexes suitable for a postman! As thanks for showing me something impressive, I give you this! So get ourselves another piece of heart by doing that minigame. Oh man, I feel so good about doing that before you get the thing that makes it easier. I'll have to train more. More! You showed your wild instincts. The postman, whose priority is delivery, was added to your notebook. So that's one of the things we're able to do with the postman, but believe me, there is going to be more involved with this guy in the future. He is a very integral NPC in this world. Now, how about we check out this area? This is the lottery shop. Sir, we're now exchanging winning tickets. If you'd like to buy a ticket, we'll start selling them tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Okay, so we're not gonna be able to do anything about that for the time being. But that's fine. It's perfectly fine. Okay, I believe that's pretty much everything we can do in town for the time being. And we still have quite a ways to go before one of the other things I want to discuss. So, how about we return the flow of time back to normal? If you ever want to do that, you just play the inverted Song of Time again. Alright, so now we got some time. How about we head outside of town and see what we can do around here? Termina Field. So got ourselves quite a big area to explore outside of the town. This area has a lot for us to do. So I want to start by heading around this foresty area over here. There's quite a bit to see around here, and you definitely want to try and do as much as you can. There are a lot of secrets around Termina Field, and a lot of different things we can grab. So these guys over here are shoes, I believe. Or just chews. And these big slimy guys will just try to attack you. As you can see, based on their color, that they have items inside them. Green shoes will have the potions that are able to restore your magic, while the red ones have hearts inside them and can restore your life. So definitely keep that in mind while you're out here. It's a very integral thing to remember. Also, the sword guy didn't tell us that before, but we also have a spin attack we can do. Actually takes up some magic to do if you normally charge it up. So yeah, those guys are pretty simple to beat. Just one attack is all it takes. So around here, so you see that big bird flying over there. That thing is called Takuri. This thing is a jerk. If that thing locks onto you and charges at you, it can steal one of your items. And by items, I mean it can steal your sword, your shield, your... just anything that it feels like taking. It is a real prick. If you're able to take it out, though, it drops a lot of rupees, which can be really beneficial to you if you want just a lot of rupees. But we don't have anything that's going to really help us to be able to take out Takuri, so we're not going to worry about that for now. I do want to note, if you're walking around here, in the grass, you want to look out for some butterflies that are hovering above the grass, because that usually notes that there is a secret you can find in this area. So we head over here. We got quite a familiar face to anyone who has seen Ocarina. Pea-hat larva. You don't know about it. If it comes at you, get in the defensive position to knock it back. So I actually don't know if we're going to be able to face this thing because it's currently night. But you're able to knock back its babies. And yeah, it's nighttime, so I don't think it's actually going to be something we can deal with. But yeah, just knock back the young that spits out of it with your shield or with your sword, and you should be good. Yeah, we'll have to come back later for this thing, because we cannot destroy it in its current form. Also, it is very close to midnight, so we should probably head back into town, because there's something I want to do around midnight. So I want to quickly head to the... We want to head to the north section of town. Just got to be really quick on this, because we have a very tight schedule here. But we should just barely make it in time to do this. Because if you remember the first time that we were here in Clocktown, on midnight of the first day, we witnessed a certain thing happen. And perhaps we'll be able to actually do something about it in this run, now that we have a much more combat-oriented form. We can see the old lady going along with her bag, and... Ouch! Watch out! Stop me! So the thief is once again made off with the old lady's bags. Simply hit him with your sword, and we're able to get it back. Then just watch that loser run away. Like the coward he is. Get lost. Once again, the security in this place is a dump. Thank you. Since he didn't make off with them, I can finally stock bomb bags at our shop. Maybe I'll put him out tomorrow. Yes, I must thank you. It's a dangerous mask, but maybe you could use it for your own festival fireworks show. You got the blast mask. Where was C? You can have a blast with B, but you lose life energy in the process. Well, thanks for helping me. Take care. The old lady from the bomb shop was added to your notebook. You guarded the old woman's luggage. This was added to your notebook. So thanks to our valiant efforts, we were able to prevent a theft. Very good. And managed to acquire a new mask in the process. So the blast mask here is quite interesting. if we put this on, we are able to generate our own explosions. Very nice if you just want to destroy anything that is close to you. And it works pretty much just like a bomb that we saw back in Ocarina of Time. However, it does take some life from you, so you do want to watch out about that. Anyway, now we managed to save the old lady. I want to play the Inverted Song of Time again to slow things down for a little bit, as I know there's some things we can do at night that are going to be pretty important to us. So let us head on out the north gate. And around here in the northern section of this area, you want to be on the lookout for one of these mushroom platforms over here. Well, I say mushroom platforms, it's a mushroom-shaped rock formation. Because if we jump over here, we can find this old guy dancing around here around midnight. Oh. I am no longer part of the living. My sadness to the moon. I haven't left my dance to the world. I am filled with regret. Translation: I am disappointed, oh moon. I have died. Oh, I plan to bring the world together and stir it into a giant melting pot with my dance. If only I had taught my new dance to someone. The spirit dancer Camaro was added to your notebook. How about we do something to ease his suffering? So we learned the Song of Healing from the masked salesman in the last session. So perhaps we can use this to heal his burdens. Spread my dance across the world. Train its followers. Translation: I have taught it to you. Now make it into a popular dance craze. You got Camaro's mask. Use it to teach his dance to the world so his moves can become as popular as he had hoped they would be. I'm counting on you. Translation: I'm counting on you. You became the dancer's successor. This was added to your notebook. It's quite the interesting thing we are getting ourselves into here. Meeting the spirit of a long-dead dancer and given the responsibility of passing on his teachings to the next generation. So how about we go take care of that? So I would like to do some more exploring around Termina Field, but for the time being I want to wait a little bit before we do that, as there's still some things around town I want to take care of. Alright, so what we want to do now that we have Camaro's mask is we want to head to the West Clock Town. As we go over here, we can see the Rosa sisters are busy practicing here, though not really doing too good. But now that we have Camaro's mask, let us teach them the Dance Master's craft. That guard just like, what the hell am I looking at? Thank you for teaching us those steps. You are our master. By helping out the Rosa sisters, we get ourselves another piece of heart. You stole the hearts of the dancers. This was added to your notebook. Master, you're so cool. Aw, isn't that sweet? I mean, it looks like we got some guy's head sewn onto our face, but, you know, still helpful. So with that, we're able to help out the Rosa sisters, and they'll be doing Camaro's dance. Very sweet. Alright, want to think about some other things we can do. Well, at this current time, we should be able to finally check out the Curiosity Shop. So this area is quite interesting. Come in. Tonight, I got nothing to sell. I kid you not. Can you buy you something? I'll pay you good for it. Show it to me with C. So this area, if you ever obtain a very rare item, you can sell it here for a good amount of rupees. Also, this shop is where Takuri will take his stolen items that he takes from you, and they will be available to be purchased in this shop. So that's how you're able to get back the items that are taken from you. The man from the Curiosity Shop was added to your notebook. Fantastic. So now we got that taken care of. I don't believe there's anything else I need to do around night. So, how about we take care of a couple things around the outside in Termina field. So let's return the flow of time back to normal, as I do not need to worry about the time here. So now, what are we going to take care of? Well, nothing left to do but head outside and see. Alright, so Termina Field obviously has a lot of different stuff that we could potentially do. This area just has a lot of cool things for us to see. For the record, this area also connects to a wide variety of places. So over here in the sand, we can encounter levers. Those guys can be a bit of a pain. There's a chest over here in the water, though sadly we're not going to be able to reach it. We can dive, but sadly that's not going to be able to help us grab the chest. We can't open it underwater, at least in this form, so definitely want to remember that for later. Alright, we know Takuri's flying around over there, but just past this guy, I believe we can rush over here, very carefully get past him. We can head over this way to a pretty remote location on the map. This is Milk Road. This area will be quite useful to us. We can chop the plants over there, manage to find a ferry. The ferries will always be hiding in set locations throughout Termina. So if you ever need to get another ferry, just simply hit that grass over there. Also, there is a owl statue here, if you want to hit that, to be able to save your progress here if you want. Again, it's really not that important to us at the moment, but it will be useful in the future. So now what I want to do, if we can see over here, we can find Tingle in this area. So how about we shoot him down with some snot? Ah! Very good. Alright, buddy. So Tingle's pretty much just going to repeat everything that we heard from him the last time we talked to him, so I'm just going to blaze through all this dialogue. So now we're able to buy a map for Romani Ranch as well as Great Bay. We're only going to buy the ranch map for the time being, but this will be pretty useful to us. You got a map of Romani Ranch. Now you can find your way around the farm. Well, call again! Tingle, tingle, kulimpa! These are the magic words that Tingle created himself. Don't steal them. If we go over here at the end of the road, this guy hammering away at this boulder, someone was up to some no good mischief and blocked the road to Romani Ranch. I'm sorry, I'll remove it quickly. So because of this huge boulder, we're not going to be able to access the ranch for quite a while. We'll definitely want to come back to that later, but for the time being, we're not going to worry about it. But what else can we see around here? If we head to this path, we can find the Gorman track. Okay, it seems like the people I was expecting to see here aren't here at the moment. I guess they don't show up at night. Kinda sad. Well, I'm just gonna wait here until they do show up. It's almost the dawn of the second day, so might as well. So now we can truly see what this area has in store for us. Won't you buy some fresh milk? This just between you and me. That milk they produce down yonder at Romani Ranch is watered down a bit. It's not worth drinking. We don't do that kind of thing here. Ours is the real deal. It's always fresh and full of vitamins. It's true. I'll sell it cheap just for you. How about it? 50 rupees for milk. We can't even do anything about that, so no thanks. Oh, really? Milk this good will cost you double in town. This is true. The suspicious Gorman brothers were added to your notebook. It's got some other folks that look very similar to Ingo. What do you want? You know what this place is? This is the Gorman Brothers Horse Training Center. You got no business here if you got no horse. Now feed it. Scram! Sadly, our horse was taken from us by the Skull Kid. So there's not much we're going to be able to do about that for the time being. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of things around here that we're not able to do until later moments in time. As we can see here, the boulder blocking the ranch is still there. So it's going to be a while still before we're able to access that area. And I just remembered something that we could have done if we were in town a little bit earlier. But it's really no trouble. We can worry about that in the future. Just want to remember to be back in town next time it's night, because there's quite a bit we can do over there that'll be useful to us. Anyway, I just want to quickly get out of here before Tokori grabs me. Really don't want to be holding this bush. What? Rupees? Ah! Hey! Get out of here, you pest! Run, this bird steals your items! What were you doing just standing around? Yep, he snatched up a few rupees, but we should be good. So I don't think it took anything important from us. At least let's check our inventory. Yep, it seems that we're good. Alright, so what else are we able to do around the Termina field here? Something to easily recommend whenever you're out here is... Whoa. Do not surprise me like that, buddy. Whenever you see patches of grass like this, just cut them down and you'll be able to get a good amount of rupees. As collecting rupees is going to be pretty integral to some of the things we can do around this area. And I definitely know we want to try and get at least 100 rupees before the end of this session for something I want to do. Yep, looking around this forest area, we got a chest on the top of this stump over here. Sadly, it's pretty high up. We do have a flower over here, so maybe we can launch ourselves up to it. Nope, it looks like it's just too tall for us to do so. Okay. If we could look around this section here, so be on the lookout for any butterflies or anything else you can see in the grass. That's usually a good sign that there's something hidden around here. So we head over this way. There is yet another chest, as well as a new enemy. Don't tell me you don't know about the Deku Baba. Cut it down with its extended body and Deku nuts or seeds will come out. This guy's pretty much a giant Venus flytrap. If you get too close, it will snap its jaws on you to do damage. But by beating it, we're able to get a Deku Stick, aka the strongest weapon in the world. Seriously, these things are good. You can use them as weapons, but they're also really useful
for being able to solve certain puzzles. Though we're not going to need to worry about that anytime soon. But for now, let's just see what we're able to do around here. I'm trying to think of some of the other stuff we could do around town, but at the moment I really don't feel like there's going to be much else we can do. At least at this current time. Let's actually check the Bomber's Notebook, since we talked to quite a few people. Alright, Anju, we're not going to be able to do anything with until quite a while. The Curiosity Shop guy doesn't have anything for us. We've already cleared up the old lady from the bomb shop, which, yeah, we'll have to visit the bomb shop in a bit to get our reward over there. There's something that can be done with a postman, but we're not going to be able to do that for the time being. We could talk to Anju's grandmother, but there's really no point to it. So yeah, seems like the only thing we really need to watch out for is I want to talk to Guru at night. So that's something we'll definitely want to do. Just bash that guy away. It's nice those guys drop rupees if you have full hearts. Otherwise, they will give you some hearts. Also around this area, if you see these skinny trees, roll into them, because they'll usually drop something good. Seems that one didn't have anything. But I want to just bear in mind that some trees do have rewards. Like, you can see this guy up here. If we roll into this tree, that knocks him down. And allows us to grab some rupees. Oh, he seems hurt. Hey, I stole that rupee from a crow. Don't go stealing it, man. Okay, now that we have at least 100 rupees, we should be able to do that thing that I want to do. So we headed down into this area. We can see this guy here. Huh? What are you doing here? This is my secret storage unit. It's a problem if you come in here without permission. Please, I'll sell you a piece of heart if you just keep this place a secret. 150 rupees for one. No thanks. No good? In that case, you leave me no choice. What about one for 100 rupees? As true of any business transaction, you gotta know to haggle. We'll buy it. And with that, we're able to acquire another piece of heart. It's not that I don't believe you, but just to be safe, I'm moving my storage. You hurry up and get out too! So this is quite the interesting event to trigger. What you want to do is go to the... You want to go to the observatory and look through the telescope. And when you see the business scrub flying out of Clock Town, you want to follow him until he goes into this hole. And that will indicate that you can go down here in order to get the piece of heart. But yeah, with that, we're able to get ourselves a really good item at a pretty decent price, all things considered. I mean, it took like half of our wallet capacity to afford that, but even still, it was a good bargain. We can roll into this tree again. I don't think we can get anything else. Yeah, we already got the red rupees in there. So I don't think we can do anything else. This tree doesn't seem to have anything. Okay. So we can just bash that guy. And I'm trying to think about some other stuff we can talk about. I guess I can say that I am just trying to enjoy my weekend here. I actually got the 2 days of this weekend off from work, which is very nice. Ooh, this area. So you want to remember these formations of Sheikah stones for later. Those will be important for something that we'll be seeing. But for the time being, we don't really need to worry about it. So let's just keep on moving. Alright, but over this area, we got a pretty craggy spot over here, and we got this thing that will just leap at us. So that thing is a bomb chew.
There are these little rat guys with bombs at the end of their tails. If they lock onto you, they'll just charge at you and then try to blast you. Simply bring up your shield and you can knock them back and not have to worry about the explosion. Bam! Take that! Very nice. So I want to show, over here in this very craggy area, we actually have a path we can take over this way. And just want to quickly show this off for the future. There isn't really much that we can do in this area, but I just want to make note of it. We can examine this guy with Tattle. That's a real bomb chew. Runs at you with its pack of explosives. So protect yourself, or else! Yeah, that's the advice you want to remember for these guys. It can be a little bit of a pain, but they're really not that bad. Bam! Go away. So we can see over here, there is a fence blocking us access to this area. We're not going to be able to do anything about that for the time being. This fence is the worst! If you want to get up there, we'll have to jump this fence. But you can't do it like this. I guess we'll have to give up. Yeah, there's not much we can do in this area for the time being. Also, God, those bomb chews are just so menacing. They can just scale the fence, no problem. But for us, oh, it's complicated for us. Wait, we got a boulder over here, and we actually can't blast it. So bombs aren't going to cut it for dealing with that thing. Okay? Well, there's no real reason for us to stay in this area. There's quite a few things we can see, but nothing we can actually do. So, yeah, we're going to want to remember this area for later. It is going to be pretty important, but yeah, not much we can do in our first visit to this area. Okay, it's getting to be pretty late, so want to probably head back to town soon. However, there's something over here we can do in the north section of the field. It's this very icy area. If we go around here during the day, there are some primo enemies you can fight. So over here, look at this fellow. What? Don't you know about the Dodongo? It moves slowly so you can circle around to its backside. You got that? So these guys are Dodongos, the large dinosaur-like creatures that we encountered back in Ocarina of Time. So for these guys, you want to simply get behind them and then do jump attacks in order to do the maximum amount of damage to these guys. Because otherwise, they're going to take a real beating. So the HP these guys have is actually based on their size. The larger the Dodongo, the more damage that it will take before going down. So simply be persistent, watch out for when it does its spin attack, and you'll be good. And also watch out when you actually manage to take it out, because it will explode. But if you're able to beat the large Dodongos, they drop a whopping 50 rupees. This is pretty much one of the best areas to grind for rupees in this adventure, so definitely something to bear in mind here. It's getting to be pretty late here, so I don't know if we'll be able to finish off this one before it transitions to night. Night of the second day, 36 hours remain. Yep, because the time has changed, we got ourselves new enemies here. That's an Eno. It's persistent, and it's susceptible to heat. So at night, you can encounter Enos in this area. They're just big snow guys. Really not much else to worry about with them. If you head over here, we can see this music bar here, giving us a couple notes. Alright, so it's right down up. And by doing that, it causes a couple rupees to appear. So that is a nice little secret that you can do in order to get a couple extra rupees. However, I know for a fact that there is something else we can do in this area. So just past these Enos here, if we go into this hole underneath this rock formation, we got ourselves this room. We got 2 Dodongos we gotta deal with here. Yeah, this one can be a bit tricky because we got 2 enemies to deal with. And they can easily just box you in and make it really tricky to actually take them out. But if you're persistent and careful, you should be good. Just be careful, because these guys can do a lot of damage if you're not prepared. Like that. Alright, we definitely want to take these 2 down, because this is something that is pretty integral for our adventure, believe it or not. So knock that guy back. Oh, somehow we're just comboing this guy. Alright, just keep it up. Oh, come on. So sadly, we died. So luckily, death really isn't that big of a loss for us. It'll simply warp you back to the last main area entrance you were at. Although we have taken quite a bit of damage as a result. But besides that, really no penalty to death. Don't have to worry about returning to the first day and all that. But since we are back in town, how about we go check out some of the things we can do here now that we have obtained quite a few things. So what I would like to do is want to head down this way. Well, for one, I want to talk to the merchant over here, now that we have the Moon's Tear. Sir, keep hearing about a stone called a Moon's Tear. Yes, we've already done the song and dance before. I'll give you your prize. I'm sure I'll make a lovely gift to your wife. Oh, that stone! You must give it to me! So we're exchanging this raw, very beautiful and valuable gem for a flower. Trust me, there is a reason we are doing this. It's one that's probably going to be messier than some people would expect, but trust me, it's a good one. And that guy is going to fly off. Probably going to head back to his secret area. It's actually funny, I used to think that you had to give him the Moon's Tear in order to be able to trigger the event where you can see him in his secret storage cave. But apparently we don't need to. The more you know. So now we're here by the laundry pool. We can find our buddy Guru just hanging out. La la la! They said it was much too loud when I practiced in my room. They got mad. Oh, now I'm sad. I'll just think about the past to keep my mind off the bad. Ah, yes, I'll do that. Dear guest, long ago, I was in an animal troupe with dogs and donkeys and such. Why could a man join? That's 'cause a man's an animal too, my boy. They were all great. There was one thing I didn't like about it. Why was the dog the leader? Was it 'cause something was wrong with me, sir? Oh, that dog was an amazing leader. He always had a stellar troop, no matter what animals he had to work with. That's why I stole it. The dog's mask. I stole it. I wanted it because it was the leader's mask. But I no longer need it. I give it to my guest. So by talking to Guru here, we get the Bremen mask. This mask belonged to the leader of the animal troop. Tried parading it around tiny, young animals. The leader was a good instructor. His members matured quickly, and they became adults in an instant. You listen to his confession of guilt. This was added to your notebook. So that's everything we can do with Guru. And with that, we managed to acquire a very nice little mask. There's nothing we can really do with it for the time being, except for this. Isn't that cute? You just play a little song and march around. It's a very cute mask. So we're not going to be able to do anything with it for now, but sometime soon there will be something we can do with it. Trust me on that. Alright, so next thing I want to do, let's see if we can head inside the inn. Alright, so the front doors are currently closed. However, we should be able to get inside the back door. Let's just hop into our flowers at Deku, and we should be good. Alright, so now we can head inside the stockpot inn at night. Something you're usually not able to do. But I want to be in here because I believe if we head into the bathroom... Oh, it's not here yet. Alright, normally something would happen here, but I believe I have to wait until a certain time. We might need to wait until at least midnight before it happens. So we'll just wait a while, see if we can get it to happen. So, how's it going? It's been doing pretty good. Had some pizza for lunch today. It was quite nice. Also managed to get some art done that I was very happy about. Alright, is it gonna happen? Look! There's a hand coming out of the toilet! Paper! Please! So how about we give him the land deed that we acquired? Yeah! Whoo! You saved me! This fell down here. I'll give it to you. You got a piece of heart. You've assembled a new heart container. Maximum life energy has increased. Who? Well, that person was added to your notebook. You helped them out of a jam. This was out of your notebook. So yeah, for whatever reason, there's just a hand coming out of the toilet in the inn. It's never elaborated on just who this character is. And there's something of a recurring joke throughout the Zelda series about just this creepy toilet hand. It's quite the interesting NPC. But yeah, by helping him out, we were able to give him... Well, we were able to get a piece of heart from him. And that allowed us to get our 5th heart, which is very good for us. So yeah, in order to get the piece of heart from the toilet hand, you just need to give him any piece of paper. The deeds you're able to get from business scrubs are one such item. But you can also get them from letters that you obtain from various NPCs. And certainly a very humorous way of being able to accomplish that objective, I'll say that much. Okay, but now that we are back out here, I want to take another crack at the Dodongos, since I got utterly wrecked last time. This time, I want to actually win. Got ourselves some more vitality, so we should have an easier time of this. But yeah, just be careful around these guys, because they hit hard, especially with their spin attack. Just hang back, wait until they breathe fire, until they're stunned, then go in for the attack. Alright, let's target this guy now. As long as you are careful and persistent, you should be safe. But yeah, just be careful. They can really shave off a lot of hearts with their fire breath. Come on. Is there anything else we could talk about while we're dealing with this twosome? I don't think there's much else I can talk about. There's a certain artist that I follow on DA who has very recently managed to make some really good progress on a Pokemon Nuzlocke comic that she's been working on for years, and it's a really good read. Ow! Do not do that, sir. Yeah, it's called Jet's Black Nuzlocke, and it's just a fantastic story overall. She just managed to get to the conclusion of that story, and it is fantastic. Just a very fun, but also very emotional journey, as you would expect a Pokemon Nuzlocke comic to be. Alright, we're able to take out one of these guys. Let him explode. That explosion also did damage to that guy. He's gonna quickly grab the rupees, and that is able to finish him. So by taking out both of these big bad Dodongos, what is our prize? Besides a lot of rupees? Well, if we open up this chest here, we can get another piece of heart. So yeah, that is definitely a very worthwhile reward. So I believe you're able to fight these two Dodongos at least, should be at least once every 3 days. Yeah, because if we come back in here, they are not here. So yeah, I am pretty sure you can only fight those two Dodongos once in a single 3-day period. So yeah, not much we can do about that for the time being. It's got this weird trail of rocks over there. I really don't know what that's about. But I guess the next thing we do... Whoa, that is a really big Eno. Could you just chill out, my dude? These guys really aren't too bad. They will throw snowballs at you, but they're really not that threatening compared to the Dodongos. So just move on out of here. So I do want to show if we go this way. We try to get to the path over to the north. I mean, the big ones throw large snowballs, so I guess that's something to worry about. If we try to go up the mountain path at the moment, we can see that there is a huge block of ice here. Try to go forward, we get frozen in ice. Not much we can do about that. And there's this big ice chunk over here. Up there, take a look at this. I bet if you had a weapon that was strong enough, one shot from it could pierce right through this. Well, it might take 2 shots. Sadly, we don't have anything to help us out with that, so we're just gonna move on out of here. Dawn of the final day. Alright, so this is going to be a good one. So now we're on the final day. This is going to unlock quite a few new things for us that we couldn't see on the previous days, which is going to be very, very nice for us. So first thing I want to do, I want to head back into town and deposit our rupees, because we have gotten quite a lot. So it'll definitely be a good idea in order to store some of these for later. Let's just take the entrance over here by the canyon. Not like it matters, just any entrance will do. Let's go pay the banker a visit. So something I would definitely recommend as we're going through this adventure, try to get as many rupees as you can, and then anytime your wallet gets maxed out, immediately return to the bank and deposit those rupees. Because there is another prize we can get by storing rupees with the bank that is really necessary if you're looking to get 100% completion. Excuse me, but let's take a look at you. Ah, yes, Hayden. If I remember, you're the little guy who deposited 236 rupees. So our rupees that you store in the bank get carried over even after we reset back to the first day. So that is your incentive to store your rupees here, just so that you have a good stockpile of rupees for the future. But yeah, if you want to get the other prize that you're able to get in this area, you need to deposit 5,000 rupees. That just seems like overkill, doesn't it? But yeah, that's definitely something we are gonna want to work towards. But for now, I feel like it's a good idea for us to just vamoose out of here. Alright, thinking about what we can still do in town. there is one other thing I want to try. So I want to grab our blast mask for this, and I actually want to head back into the bomber's hideout, as there's something we can do there that we couldn't do before because we need the ability to just detonate. So thankfully, we've already opened up access to the bomber's hideout, so we don't need to worry about that during this free day interval. So what I want to do is go left when you reach the water. So be very careful because there is a Skulltula here, but as long as you hang tight to the walls, you should be able to get through just fine. If we go over here, we can see there's a wall with a couple of cracks on it. It's over here I want to demonstrate a very neat exploit. So with the blast mask, normally when you activate it, you will take damage. However, if you hold out your shield and then detonate it, that triggers the explosion, but you don't take any damage. That is a very neat exploit, and definitely a nice way of being able to use the blast mask without having to worry about your vitality. But yeah, with that we're able to open up that chest, getting ourselves a silver rupee, which gives us 100 rupees. That's going to be very nice for us. We'll go and deposit that back over at the bank, though I'll probably wait a little while before we do that. Okay, so this is our final day here in Clock Town. So I'm pretty sure there isn't much else we're going to be able to do here. If we check our notebook... Yeah, I can't do anything with Anju yet. The Curiosity Shop doesn't really have anything available to us until nighttime. So I want to remember that. Dotor we can't do anything with. Madame Aroma does have something we can do later, but we'll have to look into that in a bit. Toto and Gorman are completely off the list. The Postman is something we could do, but... well, it's something we could try, but there's nothing we can actually do. So the Gorman brothers are available, but there's not much else we can do with them. So yeah, I have a good feeling we are pretty much going to be done with this session of just doing stuff around Clocktown and Termina Field. But before we end things off, I do want to explore one last area that we had previously visited that has some new stuff for us to see. Also, I love the detail that on the final day, the guards will be clutching their hand to their chest as they are looking up at the sky because, you know, he's always watching! Alright, so the next thing I want to do, we actually want to return to the Milk Road, as there is something we can do in this area now. Also, while we have this opportunity, during the day, we want to jump back down to where the P-Hat is. Because during the day, the P-Hat will finally be airborne. Don't tell me you don't know about the P-Hat. Just remember that its root area is soft. So this guy just need to attack its root to damage it. Watch out for its big propeller-like leaves because they will do damage. And believe it or not, despite this thing being a common enemy throughout Hyrule Field back in Ocarina, this is the only P-Hat in the entirety of Majora's Mask. It's a one-and-done creature. But after managing to take it out, that causes that chest to appear. And if we go take your sweet, delicious insides, we can find... you got a piece of heart. Very good. So now with that, we are about halfway to being able to get ourselves another piece of heart. Oh, nut! Aw, never mind. We don't really need any Deku Nuts at the moment anyway. So now we've taken care of the P-Hat. That's pretty much everything I want to do in Termina Field for the time being. But I do want to head over to Milk Road, as there is something now available to us now that we're on the final day. Let's just sneak past Tokuri. I don't think he even saw us, so we should be good. So now we're on the final day at Milk Road. If we head over here, we can see that this worker has actually managed to destroy the boulder. I opened the way! So yeah, you have to wait until the final day in order to be able to finally access this area. Welcome to Romani Ranch. This area is going to have a lot for us to do in the future. So for now, let's just look over this area and see what we can find. So over here by the actual ranch, we can see... Oh man, looks like the barn has been hit by something. Look! I recognize those whinnies. Isn't that your horse? Epona! We finally found you, girl! Oh, I know it only took like 5 days for us to finally find you, but we did! And she's currently behind a fence, so we can't actually get her. So yeah, we're so close, but yet so far. We're not going to be able to actually get the ability to ride Epona again for quite a while, so we'll just leave her for the time being. We go over here to this girl. Huh? You. Who are you again? Romani, the ranch girl, was added to your notebook. She looks very similar to Malin, who we saw back in Ocarina. Huh? You. Who are you again? She doesn't really seem in the mood to talk to us. Wonder why that is. If we go into the barn, we can see another girl here. Oh, I'm sorry. Right now, I'm thinking a little. My little sister. My sister, she... What shall we do? Our precious cows. If I thought it would come to this, then what Romani said, I should have... Cremia, the ranch owner, was added to your notebook. So this girl here is very similar to how Malin appeared in the adult time in Ocarina. If I knew it would have come to this, I would have never... So it seems like the ranch is in a bit of disarray at the moment. Just something happened here while we were away. There's nothing we really could have done. The boulder was blocking access to this area, and we could only get here on the final day, so there's really not much else that we could do about this situation. But maybe sometime later, we'll figure out a way to help them. Soon. We're gonna pass over that for now. However, I want to go over to this building here with the chickens painted on them. This is the Cuckoo Shack. So we go all the way over here and talk to this fellow. I heard it from my Gramps. Says the moon's gonna fall. With something that big, it's sure to take this ranch down with it. Huh. Oh well. My only regret is I won't get to see these guys in their prime as roosters. The cuckoo-loving Grog was added to your notebook. So we heard, by talking to Guru that the Bremen mask is able to lead animals, and is even able to help them mature. So how about we help out Grog here, by putting on a little show with the baby cuckoos. So remember correctly, this is pretty much the only game where we get to see cuckoos in a life cycle, besides them just being fully grown chickens. So yeah, what we want to do is just play the song with the Bremen mask and march along with our little chicken friends. It's just a very cute little moment, just leading a parade of these little birdies. It's just a very cute little thing. So I remember back when Machinations Let's Play this game, she was even singing a song that she was making up on the fly in tune to the Bremen Mask song, and it definitely lasted a lot longer than she was expecting, leading to her having to really improvise a lot of weird lyrics. You'll say very fun highlight from her playthrough of this game. Definitely highly recommend checking out Masay's channel. She does a lot of good stuff. Especially now, in these days, now that she's a VTuber. Definitely feel she does a lot of good work. Speaking of other things I've been seeing lately, oh man, the last episode of the amazing Digital Circus that just got uploaded, oh man, that one was crazy. So now that we got all the little chicks following us, they can now fully mature into adult cuckoos. I don't really get it, but just seeing these guys with a crest and all, I don't have regrets about anything anymore. I'm perfectly satisfied. Here, you can have this from me. And with that, you got the bunny hood. My, what long ears it has. Will the power of the wild spring forth? Yeah, these guys are all roosters. You fulfilled the wishes of youth. This was added to your notebook. So by helping out Gorg here, these guys are all roosters. Were you able to fulfill his last wish of getting to see his cuckoos all grown up? And now he's willing to die with no regrets. I mean, we still have another 6 hours before the end of the world, so it's not that big a deal. And for efforts, we're able to acquire the bunny hood. This thing is arguably one of the best masks in the game. So back in Ocarina, it really had no effect if you wore this thing, but in Majora's Mask, it increases your running speed. Look how much faster this makes us move. This is such a great mask, just really good for being able to just race across the world, being able to do whatever you want. It is truly amazing. This thing is definitely going to be very useful to us in our journey throughout this adventure. But, with that said, I think this is a good point in order to end things off here. I've done pretty much everything I wanted to do. Just looking around Clocktown, talking to the residents, figuring out what their problems are, and managing to acquire a good deal of items that will be necessary to us. Actually, there is one final thing I forgot to do. I forgot to get the big bomb bag, which, with our current time, I don't know if we'll be able to do it. So I don't know how late the bomb shop is open for, so we have to run as quickly as we can. Just ignore Takuri. Just let him stay. He can eat our dust, because he's a dick. Yeah, I don't know if the bomb shop is going to be open at this time. God, I just completely forgot about this thing. It's going to be so useful to us. I mean, for the time being, we don't really need to worry about it because we have the blast mask. But, yeah, having bombs is going to be really important for later. That's why I really wanted to get this sooner, but I completely forgot about it. Oh, we might just be able to do this. Hello there, sir. Welcome. So now that we managed to help out the old lady, we can now get the big bomb bag instead of a regular bomb bag. It can hold up to 30 bombs. A very good investment for us. You got a big bomb bag. Now you can carry up to 30 bombs. Thank you very much. You're still here? You really should go see the fireworks. This may be the last time. Yeah, sadly we don't have time for fireworks. But at the very least, I managed to get done everything I needed to before the end of this session. Let's just deposit the last of our rupees, and we should be good to end things here. Yeah, this was a really good session. So yep, all we need to do now is play the Song of Time, return to the very start of this 3-day cycle, and we are good to keep exploring this world. But for now, we are going to end things here. Managed to do everything I wanted to do now that we could finally get to look around Clock Town in earnest and get to see some of the stuff we could do outside in Termina Field. But next time, when we resume our adventure here in this strange mystical land, we are going to proceed down south and see if we can figure out a way to be able to finally take down Skull Kid. Until next time, have a good day and take care.